This is George Dionne of the Rock is George podcast, and this is a KNAC.com exclusive interview with vocalist Jennifer Haben of Beyond the Black. If I knew absolutely nothing about Beyond the Black, how would you describe the band's music to me?
I would describe it as melodic metal with a lot of symphonic elements and also some specials, like some electronic stuff. But that's what Beyond the Black is. And we're always talking about some dark stuff with always a bit of light. Like Beyond the Black, there's light and with a bit of hope. So this is what we're talking about.
Well, that makes absolute sense, and it makes more sense after listening to your upcoming album, also called Beyond the Black. It comes out on January 13th on Nuclear Blast Records. Why don't we talk a little bit about the songs and kind of how they play into the light and the dark, which is an eternal battle throughout history. I know one of the songs, Is There Anybody Out There, is sort of battling depression and isolation even before the pandemics.
Yeah, of course. I think that every single song can be a part of every single life, if it's pandemic or not. But I think that pandemic really showed us what we really need. So, of course, Is There Anybody Out There was the need to really think, okay, am I the only one thinking about this? Am I the only one feeling this emotion? Feeling alone. That is something that a lot of people experienced a lot during this time, or a lot more people at the same time. You could say it like that. But of course, you can feel alone in every single situation and every part of your life. And I think that this song could be something that you can really think of, okay, I'm not alone with this thought.
And you have a live performance video that goes along with it. Is this something you filmed on tour? Is this something you put together somewhere for this one video?
For Dancing in the Dark, we did a performance video on tour. Is that what you're thinking about?
I think I noted which ones were live performances, and then I noted which ones were theatrical. So you're right. It is the Dancing in the Dark one that has the big drum and the stage show and everything.
Yeah, that's right. So that was one song that we haven't released before the tour. And then we were playing it and the people were really amazing, clapping and having fun and dancing. And so we really were lucky to catch that moment in the camera and to put the music video out there. And I think you can see how the people are smiling and having fun and partying as if it's their last day or their last party, or I don't know. And I think especially after these past years, you know that every single day, everything can change. And so we should really enjoy what we do and every single day, even if it's hard and it's tough. And we know that everyone is going through a lot of stuff, but always have it in the back of your minds and our minds that every single moment is precious.
And you did a couple of theatrical videos kind of in studio, Reincarnation and Winter is Coming. Is Winter is Coming, is that sort of related to Game of Thrones?
Yeah, of course. I'm super nerdy. So I'm super into Game of Thrones and fantasy stuff in general, like Harry Potter and Twilight. Oh, I was the biggest fan of Twilight when I was young. So I really love that. And the idea came from our guitarist, Chris. And I said, okay, let's just do it. It's fitting to every single situation. Also, especially for this album, it was perfect because, of course, you can imagine winter's coming right now. A lot of crazy stuff in the world is coming, and so this was perfect for this new step. And the other song was Reincarnation, right?
Yes.
And for this, I was super happy of course, I told you I'm a nerdy person. And then for this time, we had the chance to really get nerdy in the music videos, doing some cosplay stuff and really, yeah, doing some visual stuff that we never had before. And yeah, it was great that it turned out like as it was in the end. So we're super proud to tell a whole story with this album, always with the symbols that we were working on during the album process. And yeah, and this is what we're continuing with the next song as well.
And what is the next song going to be?
The next song will be released with the next with the album. So, but I don't know if I can tell you which one it is.
Oh, the typical heavy metal answer is, oh, it's a secret.
It's a secret. I take the heavy metal answer.
All right. So this theatrical element that plays into some of your videos, does that also come out to the stage? Or are you going to do like a little bit of this cosplay stuff when you do your live performances?
Not really the cosplay stuff, but some other specials. On this tour, I had a dress that I wanted to have with a quick change that you could do on stage. So that I could just do this and then having another dress. Like the first one was black and beneath that it was red. So that was something, it's like magic. That is something that I wanted to have. But also we had some other specials, and some people told us that this show was had some kind of a musical vibe, even if it's all about the music, of course, but we with the lights, I don't know if you saw something from the tour, but we had some elements that we wanted to have for, yeah, that the people can be entertained the whole time, and that it's not like, okay, another song, another song, another song. Also having something visual that is new. So yeah, and I think the people liked it.
Did you make it snow? Did I see that right? You made it snow?
No,
No,
but I
was that a
wanted
music video?
to. Yeah, I wanted to. And winter is coming, of course, with the cape that I had. But in the end, we couldn't make it work. But maybe the next time.
Why did you decide to name the self-title the album for your fourth album? Normally, artists do this for their first album.
Yeah, I know. But maybe it's because it feels like kind of a new start for us. We have a new label. When we were starting with Beyond the Black, I was 18. So I was a totally different person than I'm now. And it's good to have some freshness, a fresh team, new team, starting from that point that you are now. Because when you're starting to work with other people, somehow it feels like, okay, you have that space, he has this space, and he's doing that, and it's hard to fight for more space, you know. And this time, completely new start. Okay, this is my thing, this is your thing, let's do it like this. And it feels kind of refreshing. And also we were facing some bigger questions during the last 2 or 3 years, because we had a lot of more time, you know. So a lot of people were asking themselves stuff like, okay, am I standing right now, and what is what I want, and is what I'm doing right now really what I want? So this is something that we did for our personal lives, but also for the band. So what is Beyond the Black, and what do we want to be? And all of these answers that we gave ourselves were given before we were writing and recording this stuff. So this was, or I think this is the reason why this album feels so confident, so like, okay, this is it. So it feels organic and more like, yeah, it should sound like this, of course. It just doesn't want to be something, it is something. So this is how I feel, and that you can hear that. And also having a big picture with this album, and not every single song stands for itself. You have this one big piece, and this is what I wanted for this album. And I'm glad that a lot of people are seeing this like that as well.
You also mentioned this is your first album for Nuclear Blast. How did that record deal come about?
Um, uh, you have to know that since the beginning of Beyond the Black, we started with Universal Music. So the German-speaking area was always with them, and then Napalm was added to them, so like the rest of the world. So we always worked with them as a base, and now we were searching for somebody who wants to have the whole world, because it's better to have the big picture. And or it felt right, more right for us, to have one thing that you can really say, okay, the success from this country can be good for this country, and I don't know. So it feels right to do it with the whole world, with Nuclear Blast. And I think that we also got a team that really believes in what we do. And yeah, it feels just great to work together, and we're super happy, really.
And you just finished a tour co-headlining with Amaranth.
Mhm.
Was this your first official tour back to the road after lockdowns?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We did some summer festival shows, but it's not the same, of course. Festivals were amazing. Also just being back to normal with all the people in front of the stages, that was amazing. But to see your own fans in front of the stage that are singing with you and giving you this much energy back, when you're giving your energy, that is something super special for me. And also that I was so lucky to not getting sick. I was healthy all the time. Like, I had 3 days of a nose thing, but nothing on the vocal cords. So I was so lucky. And that was something that I never had before. I was always sick on every tour. But I did something right, I think, this tour. And I will continue that on the next. And yeah, it was a really successful tour, even if you know that financially the music industry is fucked up still. Maybe you know that,
Yeah.
because yeah, the costs were like 30% more than we calculated before and all that. But we took the risk, and for us personally and for our hearts, it was the best decision we could ever make.
You appeared on a single with Amaranth, Make It Better. Did you guys get to perform this song when you did your last live tour?
Yeah, we did it on some shows. Also Wounded Healer, that Elise did with us. So these two songs we did on some special shows, because of course Elise didn't have the luck that I had. So she got sick from time to time. So we had to check out where we can do it and where we have to, yeah, just concentrate on our vocal cords and stuff. But yeah, we have had a lot of fun in the end to really do it together. And also the last show was just crazy. And okay, I have to tell you this story. Because we had so much fun with all the, you know, that on the last show on a tour, everyone is making fun, right?
Yep.
And I had the idea, when I'm doing the feature with Amaranth, my drummer had a Spider-Man costume. So I said, okay, you will go on stage for me, and I will sing backstage, and you will do, yeah, as you should sing the part that I did. And she was laughing. Elise was laughing so hard she couldn't sing anymore. And this was the best moment ever, because she thought That's the funny thing. She thought that I was looking like this in a Spider-Man costume.
The next time you guys tour, you better watch out because she'll try to prank you.
Oh yeah, they pranked us as well, a lot. But but it's fun. For the last show, it's everything is okay. And yeah, I think the fans liked it very much. They laughed hard.
So you have some festival appearances coming up in 2023. Are you planning like a regular tour in between that?
Not in between, but yeah, we will do festival shows in the summer, but also a tour in the end of the year. We haven't released something till now because we haven't saved all the dates, but yeah, we're planning a lot. You know that we're not really planning as before the pandemic. Before the pandemic, we had like a 2-year plan or something, and now it's a bit shorter. But we're so looking forward, and yeah, we want to continue to take all the steps.
So Beyond the Black's a pretty successful band right from their debut album in 2015, Songs of Love and Death. From the success of that album, was there any pressure going forward to kind of reach the same heights? It can be kind of difficult coming out with a hit right off the gate. I mean, you came out with more successful albums after that, but I would imagine there had to have been a deal of pressure after the first album.
Yeah, somehow it's like that, but I have to say that especially during the first years, I was more on autopilot than I thought. So just continuing doing stuff and just taking every single step and not thinking about it too much. But of course, every time we released something, there was the pressure, okay, other people commenting some negative stuff, or I don't know. um it was a lot about that when I was younger. After that, there was a band change, maybe you know about it. I learned a lot during that time, to really how I think about comments now. So I know now that all the bad comments hasn't mostly nothing to do with me or with the band or something. Mostly that it has to do with him or her that is writing that comment. So knowing that, everything else is much easier now.
Exactly. Opinions are like assholes, right? Everybody's got one.
That's right.
So the debut album was in the German top 15. It won the Metal Hammer Award for best debut, and you went on to have a top five, two more top five albums or three more top five albums and stuff like that. Was that too much pressure for the band? You just mentioned that the band changed over after I know after a couple of albums. Was that too much pressure for them?
It was after the second album. So I think it was not the pressure, it was more miscommunication. We liked each other very much, but I think also something that I know now is how important communication or right communication is. So would have, I think if I have known that before, maybe it would have been different. But in the end, I'm very glad that I found these boys that I'm with at the moment, because it's the same vibe. They want to invest as much as I do, and yeah, and they love just what we do.
So you weren't always a German heavy metal symphonic artist. You actually got your start in pop on a kids competition show. So were you always a metalhead and just kind of went the pop route because kids love pop, and then or did you kind of grow into heavy metal as you got into your teen years?
Um, I think I more was growing into metal after many years of doing other stuff, because I was grown in, or my environment when I was young was more like poppy mainstream stuff. but also in my first band that I had with 9. We started there, and we had like 5 years, and it was a cover band. And we did, from the beginning on, we did a lot of different genres. So like Whitney Houston, also AC/DC, like Highway to Hell and all of that stuff. And but also like Amy Winehouse, and German, English, French, a lot of different stuff. And that is what I always loved. I love to show every single emotion that I have in myself. So also every single instrument that we wanted to, or we needed, that I always wanted to try it. So I ended up playing piano, guitar, saxophone, and also a song with violin. And yeah, I tried everything. And this is what I was continuing to do. But of course, with this contest, it was more poppy. Even if I had also a band after that that was called Sapphire. It was a German pop band, but I was always like the rock voice in this. But I felt, when I was starting this, even if I wanted to, because I wanted to sing and I wanted to make experiences, and I never said no if somebody said, okay, you can sing. So I tried it, and I tried a lot. But I felt, okay, German pop is not really my thing. And I was really glad that after a year it was over, and I could really try things out after that. I had like 4 years of finding myself and finding what I want to do. And I started with rock, and I went over singer-songwriter stuff, and somehow a bit of Amy Winehouse kind of vibe. But then I went back to this heavy stuff, because I imagined that, or I found out that there I can put every emotion that I want to express into the music. So I can be super heavy, I can be super emotional, I can do everything, single emotion there. So this was the perfect thing for me to do, for me personally. So this is why I was coming from the music to the community.
Fair enough. Do you work on any other music projects, or is Beyond the Black all you do?
Beyond the Black is my baby, so that's all I'm doing right now.
Any thoughts of a future solo album or anything like that, or is it just Beyond the Black all the way?
There's no need. I can do everything what I want in this music. So at the moment, I'm fine, very fine. So
Awesome.
no need to change.
Excellent. Well, those are all the questions I have for you today, Jennifer. The new album, Beyond the Black, self-titled, is on Nuclear Blast Records. It comes out January 13th. It sounds fantastic. I wish you the best of luck with it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your interest and your support, and hopefully we will see each other in person someday.